Dr. Jeff, good morning to all rhinos. We got a question, ROI on equipment. I want to see, instantly. Depends why. I got a PMF and I use it as a non-covered service. It was cheap, but I use it to, um, so that I just get less bitching, about, I had added $45 to everyone that does Nuka, but sometimes they're holding. And so I do the PMF. Um, and then no one complains about it. But like decompression or tables that are expensive, I want to instantly be making more money right away, and I would like to make it depending on the machine, but I'd like to make it back within 3 to 6 months, and then obviously stay profitable or more profitable from there. Um, and so yeah, I would say 3 to 6 months, um, depending on the equipment and what you're doing. But yeah, if you get a $50,000 decompression table, it adds 5 to 10 grand a month to your, gross collections. You should have it paid back pretty quickly. Um, but you gotta have a plan. You gotta be consistently recommending it, and that's it's important. And I think you have to be really what's helped me with those situations because it's so easy to just include it and you take care of people and yada yada yada. Next thing you know, you got a bunch of people using it and no one's paying for it. And it's just so easy to let that happen. But I think writing down who you think would help and then having a care plan that you think would be ideal. So like with my decompression table, I just said, and this is where it's nice too. Sometimes when you have your staff do those reports, they just do it. It's black and white. They don't think anything of it. A lot of times we're the ones that have all the emotion with it. But yeah, I was like anyone with a degenerative disc, anyone with a disc bulge, herniation, stenosis, anyone with radiating pain or numbness down an arm or a leg, I'm recommending it. And that's, basically every Medicare patient that comes in. Has degeneration. And so as well, but I just have that and then I recommend it. And it's usually 24 visits. And then I add the 60 a visit to the plan. And I'd say probably half of the people do that. Maybe a little less than half. Um, but a lot of people do it. A lot of people do it. And then some opt out, right? Because there's a lot of these people, they're just coming in. They're not coming in for decompression. Um, So, but yeah, we have a few commitments each week, and that adds, whatever, 10, 20 grand a month to the collections. And my table was, what was it, 15 grand? So yeah, but yeah, I would say 3 to 6 months. You want it to get that amount back. And then from there, you should be increasing, you know, your profitability should go up from there. Any other questions, Dr. Jeff, specifically? You can sign in. There's no one else in if you want to chat. Dr. Jeff, you can unmute yourself if you want. If not, I hope that helps. But yeah, I would say 3 to 6 months for sure. And then just make sure you're recommending it. Just
Right.
make sure you're consistently recommending it. Oh, now I can hear you. What's up?
Yeah, can you hear me now, Dr.
Yep.
ASJ?
Yep.
Oh, great. No, 3 to 6 months. That's exactly what I was looking at. Uh, and I know ROI is when a sales guy calls you, their ROI, they're going to tell you make it back in a month. But a realistic ROI, uh, I'm okay with 6 months. I think that's a fair deal. But uh, I was hoping you weren't going to say, oh yeah, 24 months, you get it back, and then it's nah, I want to try to do that earlier than that. So
No,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm sure if like yeah, the salespeople, if they're thinking like just a decompression specific office, it's probably
Yeah,
different.
yeah,
When you're adding it to a busy, Cairo office, and you're not going to be, recommending it to every single person that comes in your door, it's different.
yeah.
The key is just being super upfront with people. Like, there's this other treatment we have. It is a lot more
Right,
expensive, but I
right.
think it would be really, really good for you. And I always let them test drive it once, and I think that's really helpful. And I tell them you're gonna, there's a good chance you're gonna feel worse if let's
Yeah.
do it once. If you don't want to do it again, I'm not gonna charge you for this visit. And then more people will do it, and then a lot of people, and it'll be surprised you sometimes who doesn't. But that's why you just want to have a clear list of who you think it's for, what would be best. Just take all the emotion out of it, and then just recommend it.
Yeah, my where it's kind of coming from, I in my office, I've been a bit old school with the intersegmental traction roller table,
Yeah,
and uh, I think it was last year, this year that is no longer billable for my in-network Blue Cross as a traction code,
got it.
and I I've tried to make it up just by charging pretty minimal, but patients were so used to it being part of the
Hard.
Blue Cross plan,
That's tough.
and so and as you described last in your last call, how the in-network it really has lowered, and now that I don't have the traction to pad onto that,
Yeah,
it's really gone down quite a bit. So I'm looking at, like you said, a non-covered service, and I'm even looking at an in-covered service
yeah.
to try to catch that. I know it's minimal, but to catch that $10
Oh, it
uh,
matters. Yeah,
made
for
a
sure
big
it matters.
difference. Now with your PEMP, that's an unattended PEMP, right? You just set that up.
Yes. Yep. PMF is unattended. So they hook them up and they leave, and then if they're sitting, once it's done, they can up and come back. They just walk to the front. Um, yeah, I
Did you
would
get
make.
that through the Pulse PEMP folks that came out to the training a couple years back?
I did not. I'll send you it. I actually got it from Dr. Kenji. It's wholesale from a company in China, and it's
Yeah,
really inexpensive. I'll send you the lady's link, and you can take a look at what they do. And
yeah, please do, because that can be just another service that could make up for the roller table not being paid, and that
absolutely. Yeah.
yeah
It's nice. If you're doing non-covered services, what I tell the patients for me is like, okay, Nuka's non-covered, but that was a huge objection all the time is like, well, you didn't do it because they're holding. And I'm like, you just get tired of that damn, over explaining that every time. And then people at the front would have to deal with it again. It was just a huge pain in the butt. So I just adding that, and then they go get that, and they go, yeah, that the PMF, the Nuka, we also have a cold laser. That is all, those are all non-covered services. If we do all three, it's the $45 charge. We rarely do all three, but we'll do Nuka plus one of them.
yeah yeah
And then
no
it just pretty much got rid of 99% of those objections. So that was
right
nice.
right
But yeah, that's what I would look at. Vibe plates can be nice. Anything that the patient can either set themselves up or you set them up and then they're done and then they can get up and leave is really.
yes yes. So yeah,
Uh,
if you could send me that the PEMF
yeah, I
info
will.
from Kenji, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll send you the
Appreciate it.
lady's info and she can get you. She's got a few different things. She's got some lasers, she's got some PMF, she's got some shock waves, but yeah, they're pretty inexpensive, and I've had mine now for a while, and it's worked great. It's been
Oh, good.
pretty, yeah, been really easy, and a lot of people really like it too. So it's nice, and it just yeah, so it checks all the boxes. But no, I get it. Those you getting that that insurance money up or for those in network because they give you nothing for the adjustment. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's just the next thing of
It is what it is. So you
just
just gotta.
trying to just hanging on, and I mean, part of me wants to go out of network, but you discussed that in your last talk. It if I could just figure out the non-covered service game, then I can stay in network, and then it's a win-win, and that's what I'm working on.
Yeah, it's huge. And then they still come in. You're still going, and that's the other thing. Like even with people I have come in, when I'm out of network, like Blue Cross, and I can't get in, they won't let me, and I've tried a million times. Even if they have a huge deductible, they want to go into their in-network deductible. So it's like it just,
Yeah,
yeah, some people stay and pay cash because what we do is, unique and it gets good results, but a ton just, and I get it. They go to the in-network guy. So, yeah, so if you can be in-network, you're going to get more new patients, and then you just get the non-covered service game going. So yeah, I'll send you that PMF thing, and then I
that'll
see is
work.
that thing's cheap, so you don't really have to worry. You'll pay that thing back real quick,
Yeah, sounds good.
2 grand.
All right, Dr. FJ, thank you for your time. Okay,
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for the
you
question.
got it. You got
Always
it.
have.
Awesome. Thanks
Yeah,
as
good.
always.
Yeah, good chat. Yeah, we'll see you soon. Take care, Dr. Jeff. So one last question is the associate game. When do you want to do that? There's one of two ways you kind of are going to handle that. Either you're going to after 15 to 20 years or 25, depending on how well you've taken care of your body, you're either just going to start, slowing down a little, keep your overhead super low, and then that's fine. And keep your staff fairly low. That works. A lot of people choose that route. Or I would say probably 5 years in or 10, you want to look at bringing on an associate. It's going to give you a lot more, obviously, time, freedom, and allow you to really protect your energy. And protecting your energy is, and your body, I mean, your health, your energy. That's what I mean when I say energy. Your health, your body is so important. I think one of the biggest weaknesses in our profession is kind of that, not that, the second half of your career. The first half, you're young, you're motivated. In the beginning, you're terrified and you're literally hungry. So you get after it. But then that second half, the next 20 years, the next 15 to 20 to 30 years, have you taken care of your body? Do you have a business that can run without you? Because you're obviously not going to do at 55 or 60 what you did at 35. I don't care how well you take care of yourself, there is going to be a difference for the most part, especially if you've had some traumas. Um, so that is, I think, a huge weakness in our profession, not too many people talking about. So having a practice that can carry on without you is nice, or just being super profitable, saving your money, keeping your overheads very, very low, so that then in those second 20 years, you can kind of just slow down and be like, yeah, I just want to adjust 3 days a week. That's all I'm doing. And I'm gonna close the rest. If they don't want to go somewhere else, they can go somewhere else. And you can do that. And there's nothing wrong with running it that way. And you can do that and then you take a week off and you go black. And lots of times the people who do that, they'll take a half a week this week and a half a week that way, and then they pack in the 2 weeks, and then keep their monthly collections relatively the same. And if you lose, you're gonna lose a few new patients, but who cares? Because you've earned that right. But I think for most, um, bringing that associate on 5 to 10 years in the game, you're going to pay a little bit more than you did before COVID. The going rate now for starting is probably 65 to 70-ish. Obviously more expensive area goes up, less expensive area, maybe you can get a little less than that. And then a year or two, and then you got to decide, do you want it long term, or are you just going to every couple of years bring something on? Some of that will be the techniques you use, how complicated and unique they are, or how, um, if you're doing like a Blair SOT practice, well, the pool of associates you're pulling from is going to be very small. So you're going to have to either spend a lot of time in the beginning training them, and you're going to want to probably, instead of keeping them for 2 years, you're probably going to want to keep them for five, because it's going to take you probably a year before they're really well trained. So that thing, if you're doing diversified, well, everyone learns diversified starting out. Doesn't mean they're good at it, but at least they learned it. And then so it's a bigger pool you're picking from. Are you in an area people want to live or not? Are you near a chiropractic school? So there's a lot of variables involved, but it's going to be one of those two routes typically. You keep it overhead low, small, and then just as you get older, you're going to just wind down a little bit what you're seeing, minimal staff. Or I would say 5 to 10 years in, probably five, look at bringing on an associate. How do you do that? Look at your last 12 months. If you added 5, 6 grand to your overhead and you didn't grow, would you be okay? Okay. Um, and again, the associate game, adding an associate doesn't make you grow unless you have a waiting list of people and that you can't see. And then you're adding new slots. That's very, very rare. What you are doing is you're increasing your overhead to give you time and energy. That's what you're doing. And you have to use that time and energy to then grow the business and also take advantage of having some time off, and really use that. Um, so that is how, and with the associate game one, you want to have your documentation has to be very, very good, whether it's software or travel cards. Your staff has to be really well trained, because the associate needs to walk in and be able to just take care of patients, and someone at the front handles everything else. That is the best system I've seen. Usually, if they have to come in and then they're discussing finances and they have to answer insurance questions and the people at the front don't know because everything's in your head, that's not a good system. And you got to be very, very careful with that. So, so getting your team well trained, then adding someone, and then using that time to then pump everything up. And then you can, and then you look at how much more profitable you are. I was just talking to a doc, and he was saying how he was all annoyed because they had like a slow day and he's paying this associate. I go, it's not, you know, this is a long-term investment in your health, well-being, and yes, profitability and prosperity, allowing you to then you don't have to slow things down, right? Because you have these people that can help you. So now you can continue to grow while the demands on you can go down. Um, Much trickier to make a reality because you got to be hiring people and firing people and training people and there's a lot more it's trickier to do that for sure. Um, but you got to figure out which one's right for you and then you just stay focused on yours and don't look at the, oh, that grass is greener. Oh, that guy only has 800 square feet. Or, oh, that guy only adjusts or girl adjusts 2 days a week. You can't compare. You got to just figure out what's right for you. And then you lock in on that and you just stay focused because you can't flip flop. It's not going to work. You got to pick one and then just lock in and stay on that. Because obviously, having the team is going to have more overhead. You got to have a higher grossing office, and you got to be hiring, training, firing people. Um, The other way, it's all on you, but you don't have to deal with any of that. You keep your overhead low, but you can't be missing 3, 4 weeks at a time. You cannot even 2 weeks, obviously. So you've got to be really taking care of your body. There's some risk there. Um, so there's not, there isn't one right way. It's just figuring out which one's right for you. So anyway, associate, if you're looking at that, I like that game. I like that I adjust 2.5 days a week. I like that Tuesdays and Thursdays I'm home when my kids get home. I coach some of their teams. We do have making them do 10 minutes of burpees with me just to toughen them up a little bit. So I enjoy that, and that's worth it to me. Obviously, short term, we would have more money if we had a much smaller team. So, but yeah, associate game, look at the last 12 months. What's the worst month? If you added whatever their amount would be, 5, 6, 7 grand a month, would you be okay? And then what are your plans to grow? How are you going to train them? My goal is I have one good associate with me now. We'll see if she stays long term. She's been with me 2 years, but hopefully she'll stay with me a few more years or longer. If not, not. But and then she will train the new docs. 'Cause I want to get one more in probably 2 years, um, just to really allow us to grow quite a bit and the demands on me be less. So, but you got to create what's the vision that's right for you and then just stick to it. So, yeah, 12 months, have your thing though, have your fee structure, your reports, your insurance. It has to all be boom, boom, boom. Create a care plan matrix so they know what to recommend to each person. If they have had pain over a year, this is what we're recommending. They got stage 4 degeneration. This is what we're recommending. This is what we do. All that has to be systematized so that they can just literally come in and take good care of people and everything else is handled. Your marketing has to be really good, bringing in consistent new patients because bringing in a person in and of itself is not going to grow it. So anyways, hope that helps. And everyone have a great month. Keep charging and we'll see. Have a great Thanksgiving for the Americans. And we will see you in December. We'll set our goals. Hopefully, everyone has hit their goals for this year. If not, we re-strategize and get back after it. Keep charging and mochichu.